that's true.
I don't know how successful Star Wars is in China anyway.
It's not at all, apparently.
Flip.
Apparently all of them have done really bad. Right, let's see. My source knows JJ well enough to know that he's not the yelling type, but apparently in a meeting he yelled something along the lines of, "Why don't you just put directed and written by Lucasfilm then?" My source wasn't present for that exchange, but knows some who were.
So he knows someone. He knows someone. He knows someone.
Yeah. Disney demanded they shoot some scenes that would have had things in it for merchandise.
They fly now.
I mean,
They fly now. They fly now.
Why is it ever a thought? Let's just film this for a toy. So yeah, They Fly Now is one of them. It's also JJ's least favourite scene. At a November screening of a 2-hour 37-minute cut, he cringed, groaned and laughed when the scene was on. I mean, it was a bit cringy like, but
Yeah.
it wasn't Jar Jar Binks level
No.
cringe. My source says that JJ was most likely not joking when he said "you're right" in the interview where they asked him about the Rise of Skywalker criticism. JJ's originally early November cut was 3 hours 2 minutes long. Like, I imagine all the explaining they could have done with
Yeah.
that, and they wouldn't have had the need the fast forward button on.
It's like one of the shortest
so-
Star Wars movies, and like 3 hours just feels like a better end to a saga.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes shorter than Last Jedi when it was. So when we bought the tickets, it said 2 hours 35, and then it was 2 hours 20.
Yeah.
Ended up being. So I mean, they've definitely cut it out somewhere at last minute.
Yeah, definitely.
So next point, over a period of 9 months, JJ started realizing that one by one his ideas and whole scenes were being thrown out of the window or entirely altered by people who have no business meddling with their creatives. So yeah, this does seem like they were freaking out that they didn't have another Last Jedi like controversy. So they've kind of just cut all the scenes out that they thought maybe would be controversial.
Yeah.
We'll probably never know.
Yeah.
Let's see. They were not on the same page when it came to creative decisions, and it became obvious that Disney had an agenda. In addition to wanting to please shareholders, Disney could afford messing up 9 for the sake of the bigger picture when it came to protecting things unrelated to 9. Well, I suppose Disney... Well, Star Wars, I mean, you probably could. Well, I don't know. Oh, jeepers, where'd I go? I mean, that's a pretty bad mindset to have. Oh, it's fine if it doesn't work.
Yeah. Like, you want to make something to the
Yeah.
top of your ability.
Ryan Johnson should have made Force Awakens, and then you get all the awkward stuff out of the way first, and then you do films to work out what works, instead of working it out for the last film. So the cut JJ eventually and hesitantly agreed to in early December was 2 hours 37 minutes long. It
Which is
wasn't,
probably the one you're talking about.
yeah, it wasn't the cut we saw, which is actually 2 hours 22 minutes. Apart from the Force Ghosts, there were other crucial emotional scenes missing. The cut they released looked chopped and taped back together with weak scotch tapes, JJ's words. Yeah, and it goes on to say there was supposed to be a lot more scenes with Rey and Rose. Apparently Rose was supposed to have a few more. I mean, that wouldn't really have impacted the film.
Not really. I mean,
just a general
yeah.
point. Kylo and Mustafar, which is the opening scene, was 2 minutes longer. Apparently he was like freaking out in like slow mo and having blurry vision, and he was like hearing Vader's breathing.
I mean, it's a bit weird, like just in terms of story, to have Kylo still struggle, even after Episode 8, where he killed his master Snoke,
yeah.
and like it seemed like he was fully dark side. To go back to that was a bit strange.
So they cut some of the scenes from the lightspeed skipping. Some of the planets that were cut were Kashyyyk, Naboo, and Kamino.
Yeah, more fan service, which I think is probably fair enough to cut out, but would have been nice for them to keep in.
See.
Yeah.
So when I went to see it the other night, I noticed something during the lightspeed skipping scene. So there, you know the bit where they skip to the place and it's all like these white buildings, and
Yeah,
everything's like really clean looking. So there's like a reflection if that makes sense. So when he's flying across, there's like the Falcon's here, and then there's another Falcon here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a water, because it was completely flat. It was just something weird I noticed.
I would have guessed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But some weird mirror planet or something.
Huh.
Who knows? Not important in the slightest. But I just noticed it. I wondered, why is it reflected? Okay, let's see. So,
Oh, Bobby Frick, I love him.
oh, legend! Like, so the rest of it kind of just says there were some scenes cut out and it was longer at some points and shorter, and they kept flopping between. But next one says the Kylo Ren scene where he dies, spoiler alert, was at least 4 minutes longer with more dialogue. 4 minutes longer seems a bit long. Like,
Yeah.
dragged out.
Yeah.
Ben was always supposed to die. Source also added that if he wasn't, then that might have been in the earlier draft, that which they haven't read. The Reylo kiss and Ben's death was not part of the reshoots. That was a part of the re-editing. JJ was against the Reylo kiss in general. This was Disney's attempt to please both sides of the fandom.
I mean, that's fair enough, but
Don't really care.
yeah.
Fair play to them for kissing. JJ was unhappy with where The Last Jedi took the story. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not happy or not.
Yeah.
You should just make the best film you can.
Yeah.
JJ's cut exists and will always exist. We will most likely never see it unless someone accidentally leaks it. So yeah, that was kind of a quick overview of that. So next leak we want to look at is, this one is apparently fully legit, like it's been verified.
Oh, wow, okay.
That it's real. So
Flip.
Colin Trevorrow, who's also director, was supposed to originally make episode 9, and then I can't remember when he got fired. It was ages ago.
Was it right after Last Jedi, maybe?
Could have been.
Something like that.
Yeah. So his script has come out, and it was called Star Wars Duel of the Fates.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it's a good title for the last film,
Mm.
because I don't know, The Rise of Skywalker seems a bit weird for
Yeah.
the final film title.
Yeah.
Almost.
And Duel of Fates is kind of synonymous with some really good music in Star Wars. So. Oh, we're not recording, are we?
Well, I missed a couple minutes just.
Oh, flip.
Let me just recap.
Flip.
So yeah, recording stopped, but I don't think we missed much. So yeah, we were just finishing off the JJ stuff, and it was longer at some parts. Shorter at
Yeah.
some parts. Some scenes were cut.
It doesn't sound like it would have made much of a difference. Just
No.
some cool scenes maybe could have been left in.
Maybe if it was longer, it might have just been explained better, but
Yeah.
nothing, no massive differences. So yeah, this new leak, which is apparently verified and real. Colin Trevorrow, who was fired initially, his Star Wars script for number 9 was called Duel of the Fates. And this goes through some of the scenes that were included in that.
So this is kind of the direction I would have went if I had to, like, have it start off with the First Order being in control of the galaxy, pretty much.
Yeah, it seems to be that he stuck to Rian Johnson's story
Yeah.
as opposed to go against it.
I definitely think the hate against The Last Jedi was just overblown by social media.
Yeah. I mean, the irony of it was Force Awakens comes out, everyone complains, oh, this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Last Jedi comes out, oh, this isn't the same thing again.
No,
Like they wanted
too
a different thing, but then it's too different.
Yeah.
You can't really have your own way.
Flipping fans, like, make your mind up.
That's sick. His last draft, Colin Trevorrow's, was written in December 2016. Let's see. In this version, Kelly Marie Tran's Rose is given a much larger role and spends a good portion of the film with Finn, C-3PO, and R2-D2. So this is interesting. On a mission to light a beacon on Coruscant. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely would have explained in the Rise of Skywalker how they're able to get literally the entire galaxy in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. That was another point. 10,000 ships from the Resistance just turn up out of nowhere. And
What the flip were you guys?
I mean, there's no explanation.
No,
It's
not
just
at all.
like completely random. Let's see. Meanwhile, Rey, Poe, and Chewbacca head to a distant planet to find answers that may help Rey figure out what to do about the whole situation. Much of the story is different, with characters like Zori Bliss and Babu Freak absent. Like Zori Bliss was kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean, it just tacked on love interest for Poe.
But